All right, Michael Coe, lead us off, please.
Hey, coach. So when it comes to all the missed layups tonight, do you see that as something like mental? Like when you miss one or two in a row, then it starts to almost like put a lid on the bucket. Armando said he thought something was wrong with the rims. So I just wanted to get your opinion on it.
There was nothing wrong with the rim at all. He just missed them. He wanted to assure himself of getting a double double, and so he just put it on the rim and just kept getting rebounds, and he did that with 14 points and 19 or 20 rebounds. And so I'll talk to him tomorrow at practice and say, look, why don't you just make the shot and not miss it purposely so you can get a rebound? Let's just make the shot. And so, I'm so proud of Armando. He did a terrific job just establishing us offensively at the beginning of the game. He was dominant down low on the post, and then his presence around the basket just opened up everything for everyone else. And just really proud of not just Armando, the whole team. It was a great win for us.
Thank you.
CL, go ahead.
Hubert, how much did this win kind of embody what you were talking about in terms of toughness? There was a stretch of about 8 minutes in the second half between made field goals. So it wasn't necessarily pretty, but obviously you came away with the win.
No, it was. One of the things that I talked to the team in the locker room before, they came out for the game is I told them that this is going to be a very difficult game. This is going to be hard. One of the things that I've always told them is to find joy in the hardness of achieving all the goals personally and as a team. I gave them actually a Bible verse, James 1:2, and it talks about finding joy and persevering through hard times. And I said, last week it was hard. We didn't play well, and we didn't play our best basketball. And to come back and to come home with just one day in preparation for Virginia Tech, and Virginia Tech is an unbelievable, experienced basketball team. To stay with it through ups and downs, turnovers, defensively we had lapses. There was a togetherness about this team that I was just very proud of them about. And in the huddle, this is the first time where guys were talking about toughness, perseverance, and let's stick together. And the communication, amongst teammates, the energy was really good in the huddle. Even when it looked like things were turning, we all stayed together. And so I was really, really proud of them tonight.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, Coach, after last game, you said this team was best when it can begin inside, playing inside, going through Baycott, for example. Early on, you were able to do that, and then eventually got away from him, but Manic was able to catch fire late in the game. So moving forward throughout the rest of the season, what do you think your team needs to either get back to or start doing more to get some sort of, more flow in the offense as you have in your previous wins?
Well, the thing that I liked about us on the offensive end is like we can attack and we can score in many different ways. I thought we were really good at, like you said, at the beginning of the game, establishing Armando down low in the paint. So that was really good for us. When we got stops and in transition, I really felt like we got great looks at the basket in transition. RJ and Caleb did a terrific job attacking the basket. One of the things that I always say is we want to dominate points in the paint through post, penetration, and offensive rebounds. This is the second straight game that we have attacked the offensive glass like I've wanted to the entire season. We've always stressed 3, 4, and 5 get to the offensive glass. It's always been a foundation of Carolina basketball, and we didn't convert but very well, but we had 16 offensive rebounds tonight. So I thought that was great. One of the things that we try to do offensively is to have more movement. Last week, I just felt like we were dribbling a lot. It was a lot of one-on-one, a lot of ball screens. There was no movement. There was no spacing. There was no balance out there on the offensive end. So we started running sets where we had a lot of movement, and it just gave us an opportunity to drive. And when we drove, we made the right play in finding guys out on the perimeter shooting threes. You know, Brady hit a couple big time threes. RJ hit. Caleb was terrific, hitting clutch outside jump shots, and then we got 2 threes from Leaky Black. So it was we were able to score in many different ways, but it really started with Armando establishing the post at the beginning of the game.
Andrew?
Hey, Coach, they hit a 3 about a minute into the second half. Didn't hit another one until about 30 seconds or so left. And in between, they were not getting the kinds of looks they were in the first half. What did you guys do defensively to kind of keep them from running some of the stuff that they had run successfully in the first half?
Well, one of the things that we talked about at halftime is, you know, they're offensively, they're very difficult to guard. One, all of their players are really good. They can score. And the other reason is they have great movement. And so there's never a situation defensively that, you know, you could take a deep breath and think, okay, my guy's not going to do something. Like, he's always something is always happening. We told them, like, there's going to be a down screen, a flare screen, a DHO, a ball screen. Something is going to happen. And one of the things that we talked about at halftime is if you find yourself in a bad situation, have the freedom to switch. I've always talked to them like the best thing on defense that you can do is talk and communicate. And I tell them, like, you can never go wrong if you talk. The only time that you can do something wrong defensively is if you do not talk. So one of the things that we did is we switched a lot, you know, and you know, we were trying to trail on those threes, and a couple times Couture was like, you know, wide open. Our big guy came out, and we just switched down the line. So I thought we did a really good job in our communication and our talking in the second half, making sure that they wouldn't get any open looks from 3, because they're the, you know, statistically the best 3-point shooting team in ACC.
Thank you.
Brent?
Hey, Hubert. Yeah, I don't want to pry too much given the nature of Dawson's absence, but just when did you find out that he wasn't going to be available, and what do you expect in terms of his availability the rest of the week? And also, it looked like before the game, you guys might have bowed your heads or said a prayer or something. Just wondering how unifying his absence might have been for the guys.
Well, we found out today, you know, that, you know, Dawson would be unavailable, you know, because of illness in his family. And really our heart and our prayers and our thoughts are with Dawson and his family. I love coaching him, and he's just an unbelievable kid, and he comes from an outstanding family. And we missed him tonight. He's a part of our team. He's a part of our family, and I really believe a huge part of our togetherness tonight was to be together as a team, in large part for Dawson. And so I was really proud. Our guys are really close, and you know, they're not just teammates, they're friends. And they enjoy being around each other, not just on the court, but in the classroom and in the community and out. And we miss Dawson tonight, but he's a part of our family. He's a part of our team, and we can't wait to for him to be back out there on the floor.
Do you have any idea when that might be? Would you expect him to be available for Wednesday?
I have no idea at this moment. I have no idea.
Ross?
Hey, Coach, what was your approach to handling this team and practice yesterday after the 2 losses last week? And also given the nature of 3 games in a week span, how did you handle that?
I think I surprised them. I thought, like, when we came into practice, they thought I was going to be upset. And I was the exact opposite. I sat them down and I said, guys, I'm in a great spot. I'm in a terrific mood. And they looked at me like, what's wrong with this guy? And I said, I am. I said, look, let's keep it real and let's be straightforward and direct. We had a bad week. You know, we didn't play well last week. And then with the combination of playing quality teams in Miami and Wake Forest, and they also played really well, we had a bad week. And I said, let's look at the reality here. The reality is it's not the record that we had wanted, but you know what? We're above 500 in the ACC. I said prior to this game, we played 7 games, and 5 of them have been on the road in the ACC, and we have a winning record. You know, and I said, look, when you look at the standings, we're only a game and a half out of first place. So I said, I'm not on Twitter, I'm not on Facebook or TikTok or whatever. I don't know what people are saying, but it's not the end of the day. And so we played poorly 2 games. We have an opportunity this week to play really well at home against quality, unbelievable opponents. So let's just focus ourselves on getting better and seeing if we can play better this week. And so I just felt like that's how I felt. And I felt like the guys needed that. They needed to see me not upset, not worried, and not stressed. And I wasn't upset, and I wasn't worried, and I wasn't stressed. And it led us to really have a really good practice yesterday. And just the chatter and in the huddle during the game was really good. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed coaching this game.
Adam.
Hubert, along those very same lines, like what led you to that decision that you might as well go in there and love them up and encourage them rather than, light them up? Like, what was there a conscious decision, or is that just something you felt? And is that, when you were assistant under Roy for so long, did you ever play the good cop to his bad cop? Was that one of your roles back in the day?
I don't know about that. I felt that that's what the team needed. I just didn't feel like, what is the benefit? We played poorly last week. What is the benefit for me to go after them again? And I've said this to you guys before. I coach them, I push them, but I also like to encourage them. I think you can get where you want to go by encouraging, and so that's something I just like to do. And I just felt like the guys needed encouragement. And I actually told them a story. This is really funny. I told them this, growing up, I asked them, I said, did you ever have a toy, it was like that balloon, and then it had the weighted at the bottom. And I said, usually it was like a superhero or something like that, but it was like one of those like boxing things. And I said, as a kid, you could kick it, you could punch it, you could jump on it. And because it was weighted at the bottom with sand or water, it would just bounce back up. And I said, do you remember having a toy like that? They looked at me like I was from a different planet. And I was like, I know I'm 51 years old, but that still has to be at Target and Walmart and different places like that. And so I just told them about it. I said, guys, last week we got knocked down, we got kicked, we got stepped on. But I said, the foundation of who we are and what we've done this year, you're a good basketball team. And so I said, all you got to do is just keep popping back up. I said, what other choice do you have? Point finger, stay down, whine and complain and make excuses, or get back up and fight and see if you can play better next time. And they really did that today. So I was proud of them.
Ryan Heller.
Hey, Coach, with 12 points and several big shots in that second half, how important was Brady Manic in helping the team finish strong in that second?
He was really good, Brady's, he's hard on himself. When he, misses a shot or, something happens on the defensive end, he's really hard on himself. Like he wants to play well, but like he really wants to come through for his team. And when he feels like he's not coming through, which is never, he like gets upset with himself, and sometimes he gets so upset that at times it's difficult for him to go to the next shot, next possession. And that's something that we talked about last week. I said, for him, I said, you're the most experienced player on our team. I said, our guys are looking at you. They're looking for your reaction. They're looking for how you deal with things. They're looking for wisdom and discernment from you because you've been there before. And I said, we need you. And so when things were struggling a little bit for him, we were in the huddle in the second half. And I said, you remember what we talked about? I said, Brady, you got to come back. You got to come back to us. We need you. And he came in and hit a jump shot and, hit another 3. That offensive rebound was great. And seeing him scream down the floor. And I just love that kid. And I said this to you guys, I think, but anybody that I get a chance to say it is the only bad thing about coaching Brady is I only get to coach him 1 year. I just just have loved coaching him. He's a great kid.
Okay, last one, Isaiah, go ahead.
Hey, coach, there's only 2 points coming from the bench. Is there any concern going forward with having to rely on the starters to play as many minutes as they did or have the type of production that they did?
Well, we're plain and simple. Period. Then we're going to need production on both ends of the floor outside of the starting five. It's just not going to work. I thought Justin gave us some really good minutes defensively and rebounding. He had 2 big free throws for us in the second half, and we need consistent contribution from Kerwin and Puff as well. One of the reasons that I kept in large part the starting lineup together is they were just really good defensively. As I talked to you before, Virginia Tech has a lot of moving parts, and I felt like when we went to the bench, especially in the first half, the effort defensively just went down. And I wanted to continue to have that because we got to make shots, but you also got to get stops. But they're going to be big-time games and moments for Justin, for Kerwin, for Puff, for Dontrez, for DeMarco, and we're going to need all of them. And tonight, they didn't get a lot of minutes, but they're going to be nights where they play huge minutes, and they're going to make big plays and big shots to help us win.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everybody. We'll see
Okay,
you on
thank you.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Thank you.